Hello, hello. And yes, am I live? Let's double check as always. Oh, and wonderful. I already have people here. Karen is here and Patty is here. Hello. This is why I love to jump on a little early so everybody can get in and get situated. Maybe you're sewing and you need to stop and, log in. So let me just double check as always. Facebook, it's always slow. These notifications. There, it looks like I'm live on Janome. Always slow. Yay. Janome Canada's Facebook page, Janome America's, Janome Sewing Machines Facebook page, Janome America YouTube, and yes, now back to our Janome Canada YouTube. Last week, there was a little glitch in YouTube because we have renamed our Janome HQ YouTube channel. That is Janome Canada's most active YouTube channel. We ultimately have 3 YouTube channels. A very old one that has not been used for years. So now we're calling that Janome Canada Archive, but very fun to go back to watch those videos, and you see some of that's long before my time as an educator. You can go back and see the fabulous Celine, though. Many of you remember Linda Pedzmecki as well, was our Ontario educator. Go back and see Linda and the other Janome Canada educators. So that is still there. We had the Janome Life YouTube channel for a while. That is still there, but we're eventually migrating it all to the Janome HQ YouTube, which has now been retitled as Janome Canada YouTube. So it'll be a little easier for you all to find these most current presentations. And again, last week there was a little glitch, in trying to do that. So I've uploaded my lives from last week to YouTube, so they're there. And then again, they are available on Facebook, but now Facebook is changing things. I think it's now after 30 days, the lives are deleted from Facebook. So that's why I'm streaming to YouTube, so we can share the Janome love there. So yes, I am live, and I am Michael Smith, the National Education Manager of Janome Canada, and yes, back here for another live presentation from my palatial estate. And what we're going to talk about is ruler quilting. Specifically with the QR Ruler Foot. But again, if you don't have a machine that's compatible with that specific foot, never fear. Janome really doesn't like leaving people out if they don't have to. So there is a ruler foot for almost every machine out there. So my sister Deb is here, and again, many other people. Marty is here, lovely. Oh, from France. Hello, hello. So ruler quilting, I've done previous presentations. Again, you can go back and review. Remember this cute little trivet that I was working on? Again, all of this beautiful, like little flower floret there is ruler quilting. How beautiful it is on the backside. Great way to add texture. Quilting without the worry of where am I going to go next. A lot of people, when they're quilting, it's either just straight lines, which is fine with our even feed foot or dual feed foot, AccuFeed flex foot, but maybe you want something a little bit more creative and something where you don't have to stop and pivot and raise the presser foot all the time. Ooh, remember this? So sample, again, these cute little, again, to me, these look almost like tulips, which is so perfect that it's technically spring now. Still a little chilly here at my palatial estate. But yes, these beautiful little tulip-looking shapes. And then, yes, I did some straight line quilting with my AccuFeed flex foot. That's fine. But all of this beautiful, again, it almost reminds me of like a flower. Remember those spirograph sets when we were kids? Really, really fun to do. You'll see the dimension here on the back. Look at all that. I didn't back this with a piece of fabric. It's just my batting. But again, look at all that beautiful quilting dimension with ruler quilting. And it's so easy. You just follow the ruler or the template, and it does all the work for you. When we are doing free motion quilting, some of you out there are wonderful free motion quilters. Like everything else, it's just a skill set that you learn over time, building that mind muscle memory. There is my free motion quilting following a stencil that I drew ahead of time on my fabric. And then maybe you can see in the back, Oh, my stitches aren't too bad, but again, it was all free motion quilting where I drop the feed dogs and then I'm the stitch regulator. So some of my stitches are a little longer, some of them are a little shorter, some are a little wobbly. Again, I had to take the time to draw on my fabric first and then follow it. Just free motion, free hand. So that's where, for a lot of us, myself included, I get a little panicked. Unless I have something to follow, I don't know kind of where to go. So that's the advantage of ruler quilting. The work is all done for us. Look at this beautiful sample. I love that so much. Ruler quilting is so fun. Look at all that beautiful dimension. So straight lines, or in here, we call these rulers, but they're like more like templates where we just follow our presser foot and we can easily follow that shape, you know, as we're sewing, so we can create all of this. So yes, you're still learning to use the ASR for my Janome. Oh yes, there's again blogs on Janome Life, previous presentations. We've done quite a few. I did a really big presentation, about 45 minutes, about the ASR. And again, the setup is very similar that I'm going to show today with that special QR ruler foot. And again, ooh, there's so much on my table. Inspiration comes everywhere. Now, this is actually AccuSketch, if you can believe it, but just again with the triangle, I'll just do a series of straight lines, all with my ruler, with very minimal marking of the fabric, and I literally just drew the center and just connected the dots. Again, so easy. Again, all just ruler quilting, straight lines. So it could be straight lines or the fun, oh, we get into curves, shapes. So the jellyfish with the dome here, the curved shape. Well, there's a curved ruler, of course, that I just followed the curves here. It's so funny doing it backwards, the curves here. So again, there's so much, you see curve and curve. There's so much you could do. Or here with the scissors that I created in the Artistic Digitizer software. Oh, and speaking of Artistic Digitizer, did you see on our social media today, Janome Canada and Janome America are once again offering for the month of April a free trial. We just announced it today. A free trial of Artistic Digitizer for the month of April. So after this presentation is done, you can go on to janome.com, janome.ca, click to register for your codes. You'll get them as quickly as possible. And starting April 1st, you can activate those codes and create this beautiful like scissor shapes, for example. And then again, I use this little teardrop shape template that reminds me of the handles of the scissors. So lots of flexibility and creativity for ruler quilting. So let's spin around so we can see how to do this. And specifically, again, I'm talking about, oh, there we are. I'm on my fabulous Skyline S7AE Anniversary Edition. And oh, Cheryl is here, nice and sunny here in Saskatoon, but it isn't very warm. It isn't here either, Cheryl. So again, just stay inside and sew. So here on my Skyline S7AE, and again, with most Janome machines, we're able to do ruler quilting. Now, I love these little felt baskets, which I made in a previous presentation. And here it's my little ruler quilting. I could even label the basket, ruler quilting basket. So I'm going to go very quickly through the setup here. You can go back to my previous ruler quilting presentations to review things like, oh, we recommend using the low tension blue dot bobbin holder for free motion quilting and ruler quilting. It has 8 grams of tension, and there you'll see the little blue dot. There is one for almost every Janome machine there. And again, for free quilting, hand look quilt stitch. Heads up, I'm going to use this tomorrow as I talk about that hand look quilt stitch. So it's 8 grams of tension, less tension, so it's easier to move around with our thread, less bird's nesting and eyelashing on the back. Now, again, if we don't have a QR ruler foot with that cute little divot, so we've got great visibility of the needle, it attaches to our machine where the regular presser foot holder is, as I have here on my S7AE. Other machines will use, there's a high shank version and low shank of this 1/4 of an inch Ruler Foot. So again, is it a high shank machine? In which case you drop your presser foot, measure up to this screw. If it's 1 inch to 1.25 inches, it's a high shank. If it's 1/2 of an inch from the needle plate to that screw, it is a low shank. You can get this ruler foot for your machines. It attaches again as the regular foot holder does, but it has this little adjustable screw, and this is going to raise and lower the foot to just hover over your fabric. So we need a dedicated ruler foot, and again, there is one available for almost every machine. So we need that dedicated ruler foot with that higher profile so we can safely do ruler quilting, which I will explain. Now, also included in our recipe of free motion and ruler quilting, our straight stitch needle plate with that center hole is what we recommend. We don't have to worry about the fabric being pushed down in that needle plate area. And yes, our Janome purple tip needle, size 14, with that flared cobra head just below the eye of the needle as we're coming up from the point of the needle. And then we get to the eye, the needle flares out a little more, so it separates the fibers of the fabric so the needle thread and the bobbin thread can intersect more readily, more easily. So that eliminates the skip stitching, the bird's nesting, the eyelashing on the backside. So that's our recommended needle. So again, just with a little clip, I keep my purple tip needles here, my ruler foot, again, my low tension bobbin holder, my straight stitch needle plate, that's my little ruler kit, all in my cute little felt basket, which is a free project in the Inspire tab on janome.com and janome.ca. Now, specifically, again, I'm going to talk about this QR ruler foot with my Skyline S7AE Anniversary Edition. And it does not come with the machine, but you know, some of our machines come with this foot. But other machines, it's available separately, including, again, Skyline S7AE. Oh, look, there's this cute little 10th anniversary special edition kit available that has the HP needle plate and HP foot, the O foot, the 1/4 of an inch foot with no guide, the variable zigzag foot, and the PDH darning foot open toe. And there's the QR ruler foot. So your Skyline S7AE does not come with all of this, but it's available in a separate kit from your Janome dealer. So double check with them. I just had a question on the Janome Life blog earlier about, oh, why isn't this foot available for the 15,000? Well, it is. It came with a very similar kit available when we updated the 15,000 in 2017. We could get this kit, including that QR ruler foot. Once we updated the firmware of the machine, we had the ruler quilting option in our sewing applications menu. The same with the Memorycraft 9400. We had this upgrade kit again with that ruler foot, QR ruler foot. The 9450 was the first machine to debut that QR ruler foot. But again, so many people fell in love with it that Janome said, okay, we're going to try to update the machines we can and include it where we can. We can go back to the Janome global site, type that in your browser, Janome global site, search the Janome bulletins, and here is more information about the QR ruler foot. Now it says for the 15,000, but again, now this foot is widely either included with machines or it's available separately for compatible machines. And again, there's lots of blogs on Janome Life all about ruler quilting, and go back to previous presentations when I reviewed all the machines. So in which case, I'm just going to flip my needle plate, one touch needle plate removal, so easy and quick. Remove my bobbin holder, my regular 10-gram bobbin holder, and I put in my low tension 8-gram blue dot bobbin holder. Now there is this little, again, this little finger this little metal finger here, that this little black thumb of the bobbin holder has to go behind the little metal finger in your machine. There's little arrows that line up. The blue dot or the blue arrow on my bobbin holder lines up with the little mark in my machine, and I always like to rub my finger around here. That is not moving. It's nice and flat, so it's more stable. So the blue dot low tension bobbin holder will help us in ruler quilting and free motion quilting. There is less tension on our bobbin threads, so it's not going to pull our needle threads to the backside. It's reducing that eyelashing and that bird's nesting. And again, eliminates the skip stitches when we use that Janome purple tip needle as well that I have in my machine. So here, my machine is all set up now, and I have that special QR ruler foot that attaches again to the foot holder, as usual, regular presser foot holder there. And then it's got this little divot so we can see the needle better. The distance from the center of the needle around the foot is 1/4 of an inch, so it aligns perfectly. Now, when we put on all of our presser feet, but especially this QR ruler foot that we're going to butt our rulers up against, I always recommend let's drop our foot. And included with our machine is a lot of these medium-sized screwdrivers, but I really like using this bigger one that's available in a separate blister pack from your Janome dealer. It just gives you a little more torque. You really want to tighten this up very firmly, because again, we're going to press up against it. So I have my quilt sandwich here. I always recommend my backing is bigger than my batting, and then my batting is bigger than my top. So that way I can quilt right out to the edge and I still have extra fabric. I can then trim this off before I bind my quilt. So it works out really, really good. Oh, Anna's here from Sudbury. Hello, hello. Now you'll see I have the straight stitch needle plate on. So I have eliminated a lot of my zigzag stitches, decorative stitches. Oh, they're all gone. I can't really select them because again, the machine is doing some thinking for us. Also, a machine that does some thinking for us is a machine that has this little t-shirt icon, which is our sewing applications menu. So the cool thing about our more sophisticated machines, even the Skyline S7 AE, where the QR ruler foot is an optional accessory, when we look in our instruction manual, they have even included a section, once I flip to it, they've included a section about ruler quilting. Optional, it says. Again, for Skyline S7, it's optional. So you can always, if you get a Skyline S7, right now we've got our Lucky Offers promotion. So check with your Janome Canada and Janome America dealer. Maybe it's time to upgrade to a new machine in our current promotions that goes on till the end of March. That again, maybe look for a machine that, again, it doesn't come with the QR foot, but it's an optional accessory. And included in the manual, they show you more about ruler quilting and how to adjust, and even a little diagram. So isn't that great? Again, Janome's really trying to help and think of everything. So with our foot here installed, I go into our sewing applications menu, and already, again, things with zigzag stitches are grayed out. I can't use them. So it's helping narrow down my choices. I go into the quilting, again, sewing applications. Oh, geez, I forgot to turn my phone off. Sewing applications is the machine asking you, what do you want to do? Well, I want to do some quilting. So I go into the quilting category. What do I want to do? Oh, heads up, there's that hand look quilt stitch, which we'll explore tomorrow. Do I want to do free motion quilting? No, I want to do ruler work. There we go. Now this machine, Skyline S7, is telling me to lower my feed dogs for certain machines like the CM17 and MemoryCraft 15,000 and like Skyline S9, they would drop the feed dogs automatically, but other machines like 9480, will I cover? Deb is asking, will I cover the 9480? Well, everything that I'm demoing here can be done on your 9480. I won't demo that specifically until I get one here at my palatial estate. When I'm down at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center, I have more access to more machines. Here at home, oh, I've got a good number of machines, but not that model. But again, everything I'm demoing here, you can do on your machine. So again, lower the feed dogs. Here on my S7, it's just at the side of our machine as it is on the 9480. Just lower your feed dogs there. And then boom, my screen on my LCD screen has changed. There's my QR ruler foot. And I have two settings, medium and light. Now that refers to the presser foot height. This foot, once I drop my foot, is just, so again, my foot was up here, drop my foot, it's just hovering over my fabric. And again, my feed dogs are lowered. The thing about ruler quilting, it's not pressing on the fabric like a regular presser foot. It's just hovering above. We don't want it too high and pull our fabric up. And that's what's going to cause our thread breaking. That's what's going to cause that inconsistent stitching. If our foot is too low, and here I can demo, if I go again too low, I'm dropping it low, 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 minusing it. Oh, I got to really tug my fabric. And again, my thread will break. My needle will flex. If we're pulling on our fabric too much, that needle is going to flex and it's probably going to break. And then maybe you're going to get a little thread jam and you're going to blame your machine. Well, it's not your machine. It's just you need to adjust it a little better. So we want to raise that foot so it can hover above our project. So this is why we have some preset options. So if I have medium batting, for example, which I generally use most of the time, this 80-20 batting, it's 80% cotton, 20% polyester. I will generally use the medium setting for that, which is set at 2.5 millimeters above the fabric. If I have this really lightweight cotton batting, it's a little thinner, I'll use the light setting, which is 1.5 millimeters from the base of my fabric. Now, sometimes, again, also light, maybe we're going to use this felt in between our layers, not even use batting at all. Or this is a fusible fleece, maybe I'll use that. I could use light. Maybe medium is going to be a little too high. So again, we can always go in. These are preset options, but maybe I can go with that fusible fleece. I might go up to, a 2.0, for example. And then I would double check, can I freely move my fabric without my fabric rising up? Then give it a little go and try it out. So that is a quick little setup. Again, you can go back to our Janome previous respective presentations on our various YouTube channels. For more about ruler quilting, for example, where do all these rulers come from? Well, there's so many available now. Check the So Comfortable range at your Janome dealer. And this is the Janome 6-piece ruler kit with this cute little heart template included, straight line rulers, all these different shapes. Like this cute little teardrop shape, for example. There are 6 pieces in this ruler kit, full instructions as well. Again, I've talked about it previously, so I'm not really going to spend a lot of time on it now. But mainly to show you, again, this QR ruler foot. It's so important to use the correct foot. Again, either the QR ruler foot, if you have a machine that has, again, the sewing applications menu with that ruler work option, you'll be able to use this QR ruler foot. If you have a machine that has a manual presser foot lift, if you don't have an auto presser foot lift, you don't have the sewing applications menu, you can use the high shank or the low shank 1/4 inch ruler foot, because again, it's got that same higher profile, so we can use these templates safely up against our ruler foot here because we're going to, and I put on my gloves. There's many different brands. These are Machinger gloves that I love. I've used for years. They've got these little grippy dots on the fingers, so then I can more easily move the template and my fabric all at the same time. You maybe see these little white grippy dots I have underneath. They on my template. They come included with the Janome 6-piece ruler kit. So then I can, again, grip my fabric and my template all at once. So as I start my ruler quilting, remember the needle from the center needle position to the foot is 1/4 of an inch. So my first stitch is going to be to raise my needle and raise my bobbin. If we can't get in there easily, I always suggest holding, keep tweezers near you. Make sure that they really grip well. Sometimes my tweezers give me trouble. As of course, right now, as I'm doing a live, I'm going to try to grab that bobbin thread. It can be a little tricky sometimes. Did I grab it? Nope. It's only because I'm doing live. Every time I do this at home, it works fine. But generally, I like to raise the bobbin thread because then we don't have to worry about the backside of the quilt looking messy. Oh, can I rate? There, I grabbed it. Again, it's easier when there isn't a camera in front of you. So yes, when I raise my bobbin thread here, that makes our back of our quilt sandwich a little neater. And then now we're just going to go around. And again, we are the stitch regulator. Now, for machines like the CM17 that comes with the ASR Accurate Stitch Regulator, or the Continental M8, or it's an optional accessory for the 9480. That ASR is our built-in stitch regulator. But for the other machines, again, we drop our feed dogs and we are the stitch regulator. So it's up to us to, generally, I like to turn up the speed of the machine as fast as it can go, but slow my hands down. I find a lot of people do exactly the opposite. They go really slow on the machine and then they move their hands too quick. Now, again, the advantage of ruler quilting and using, again, specifically this QR ruler foot, do you see I didn't have to raise my foot? I didn't have to pivot, when my foot specifically, I just pivoted my fabric. So it is a really fun, fast, easy way. Again, I'm just going to create this little like floral shape. You can use these templates. There's instructions in the 6-piece ruler kit and with all the templates that you can buy separately from the Janome So Comfortable line. Again, check with your Janome dealer which rulers they have. They can always order more for you. Full instructions there, but basically they're so fun. Once you have them, you can think of so many different ways to use them. It's such a freeing and fun way to quilt without, again, that pressure of free motion quilting. Sometimes, again, I get a little too worried of where am I going to go? How am I going to quilt? So I'd rather just get in here with my cute little mini duckbill scissors to just trim that thread. So this way, again, I find ruler quilting, I'm not as stressed doing ruler quilting. Oh, I should have spaced this a little better. It's going to go off my fabric. Again, it's just a little demo. I always recommend don't worry about trying to do a huge, giant project for your first ruler quilting project. This little trivet was perfect, something small. So when we do ruler quilting, again, we're keeping our template right up against our foot. Now, you can see in my quilting, again, here my stitches are a little bigger because I'm going faster. There, they're a little smaller because I was slowing my hands down. Now, consistency, ultimately, is what we're trying to achieve with ruler quilting. We're not necessarily trying to get a certain number of stitches per inch. Generally, the smaller well, I won't say the smaller the better, because when we're quilting through thicker layers, they do need to be a little bigger. But we don't want giant toenail catchers, as we call them sometimes. It's just something you play around with. So again, when we go into the actual rulers, each of these lines are 1/4 of an inch spaced. So remember, from our foot to the needle is 1/4 of an inch. So we can minimally, with virtually no marking or minimal marking of our fabric. Again, normally I would pick up my bobbin thread, but with time, as usual, it's my enemy. I really won't bother if I can't get it easily. Oh, there we go. That was a little easier. So then there, how freeing and how fun that is. So once I come to the edge of my quilt here, again, I love having extra fabric, so then maybe I'm going to baste down this edge. And then I can even go backtrack, and then, oh, I want to now quilt 1/4 of an inch from my previous line of stitching. So I can use this 1/4 of an inch QR foot as my guide. Remember, from the edge of the foot to the needle is 1/4 of an inch. So I can line up my ruler against my previous line of stitching to help steady my sewing. And again, I love these gripping gloves that really help move everything together. And then as I walk this way, again, I want to stop 1/4 of an inch. The QR ruler foot and these rulers and templates, again, they do all the work for us. You just have to follow them. Now, again, as I'm getting further away, you see my hands, my rulers are moving further away from my line of stitching. We want to stop and keep your hands around, centered around your foot, around your project. That's going to make your templates more steady, your stitching more even and consistent. And then there, boom, there are my 2 lines, each 1/4 of an inch apart. I can use the lines on my ruler, or here again, I'm just using the edge of my QR ruler foot. And it's again, the similar foot, that 1/4 of an inch foot for the high shank or low shank machines. It's that same spacing, 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the foot to the needle. So the foot will do a lot of the work for you. The templates, the rulers, they do the work for you. Again, it's got the little divot in the front of the foot, so we can see exactly where that needle is. I can just follow along the edge of my quilt here. Let's say I want to go 1/2 of an inch. So this is where I can line up one of the 1/4 of an inch lines of my ruler to my previous line of stitching. I'll move my foot back to butt up right against it, and away I go. So no marking of your fabric needed. You let your presser feet, you let your tools do the work. And there, from my previous line of stitching to this line was 1/2 of an inch. I used the 1/4 of an inch line on my ruler and the 1/4 of an inch from the edge of my foot to my needle. So the QR ruler foot, the 1/4 of an inch ruler foot, and these rulers from the Janome 6-piece ruler kit or from the So Comfortable line are so fun, so easy to do ruler quilting. I've shown this sample before as well. Inspiration is everywhere. All this could have been done with my AccuFeed Flex Foot, even feed foot, dual feed foot, but it's a lot of stopping and starting and twisting and pivoting. Instead, I was able to move in every direction using my ruler, and in this case I used this ruler, and my QR ruler foot. This was done on my 15,000 a number of years ago, and what it was the wallpaper from my hotel bathroom. I was there unpacking and went, wow, that looks like ruler quilting to me. So I took a picture, photocopied it, laid this down, and I followed. I basically stitched through my paper as my template. So ruler quilting designs can come from everywhere, inspiration everywhere. Or again, this is like, ooh, another ruler kit, the So Comfortable edge to edge template for high shank machines. So double check with your Janome dealer what they have available. And if your machine did not come with this QR ruler foot, again, do you have a auto, do you have an auto presser foot lift, and do you have sewing applications, and see if your machine is already has the ruler work sewing application, or if you have a version 1 or version 2 of the 15,000, for example, or 9400, Skyline S9, we were able to update those machines to include the ruler work sewing application mode within the little t-shirt. Again, it's in the ruler it's in the quilting function, and then ruler work. So double check with your Janome dealer. So thank you. Do this on my 11,000. What you will need for your 11,000, you wouldn't be able to use your, I don't think you'd be able to use the QR ruler foot, but you could use the 1/4 of an inch ruler foot that looks like that. Double check with your Janome dealer. The 11,000's an older machine I'm not as familiar with. So double check with your dealer. Ultimately, you can go to the Janome accessories catalog in the various Janome websites. Go to the accessory catalog, and it will tell you in the back of the catalog when you get to that QR page. There we go. The ruler quilting page, what foot is compatible with the 11,000? It might be that QR ruler foot. I don't remember if the 11,000's a high shank machine or it's a low shank machine. That's what I'm not sure. So double check your accessory catalog. It'll tell you which ruler foot to use, and always check with your fabulous Janome dealer. So thank you, everyone. As usual, a whirlwind of information. It's so wonderful to see you all. I will be back tomorrow. Again, we're going to explore more of those quilting options within the sewing applications, specifically that hand look quilt stitch. But again, don't worry, oh, I don't have a machine with those fancy capabilities. Almost every Janome machine has that hand look quilt stitch in it. You just may not know you have it. So join me tomorrow and we'll explore. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Have a fabulous day. Bye.